Hey there, Leo. Welcome to Rooted Souls Tarot. I'm Lisa, and this is your general weekly reading. So, I've got these lovely oracle cards, herbiary oracle cards, in fact, by Maya Tal. So I thought we'd pick two of these, and then we'll go a little bit more in depth with our tarot cards. So I'll find you a couple and see what this week's reading is about. So we've got this one, and we've got this one. Okay. Resurrection, California Poppy. And then we have got Comfrey, What Needs Mending. Okay, so Resurrection, What Needs Mending. Some of you maybe a relationship. I think something is coming out of the ground this week. Something is bubbling, or has been bubbling actually, because I've got a vision of the ground sort of moving and shifting, and I think this has been something that has been maybe just under the surface in recent weeks, in recent months, that has been wanting to burst through, that has been wanting to push through, and I very much feel like it's something from the past. Obviously, resurrection. So whether that is somebody that has been just bubbling under the surface, you've seen little hints of them popping up here and there, and they're on your mind. Whether it is an old career, something that you were really good at in the past that has just been bubbling under the surface. But I think the thing that's been bubbling has been like a little bit of an idea. It just keeps popping up, or you keep noticing it in your eye line wherever you look. When you have those moments, don't you? When you've just got something that's just keeps popping up everywhere you look. You look on the side of a bus and there's a picture of it, or you look on Facebook and that person keeps popping up. So there's very much a sense this week for me of something that is from the past, that has been lingering around, that's been, sort of the energy has been around you in the recent weeks and months, and it needs to come out of that ground, burst out of the ground. And I think you need to figure out what to do with it. Do you want to integrate it into as part of your life, this current life that you've got here? There's different arguments, is there, about going back. If it's a person, is it worth? Is this somebody that you really want to bring back into your life? Don't forget, there's a reason why they're not there. So I think there's going to be some reevaluation going on this week. But I definitely think this feeling, this person, this thing, this career, this whatever is going to make an appearance this week. So then we get to the Comfrey card, the what needs mending. So then we have to look at, why is it in the past? Is the reason that it's in the past because it wasn't fit for purpose? Is the reason in the past because the timing wasn't right for it? How can you move forwards with this? What can you do with this? Is there any way that you can make it fit for life now? And don't forget, this is a general reading, so it's going to mean something completely different to every single one of you. So I think there's some considerations to make before this old thing, this thing from the past, this feeling from the past, this person from the past, this job from the past, whatever it is. There's some real consideration and some in-depth, need to look at this situation in depth to see whether it is worth moving forwards with. Okay, right. Let's have a look what the cards have got to say. Let's have a look what the cards have got to say, Leo. Is this person, I think for a lot of you it is a person, I'm going to say. But I think for some of you actually it could be a job, something that you used to do. And maybe it's something that is a consideration moving forward for you. I can't get my words out in the right order. Okay, right. So we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Four of Cups. The Nine of Wands. Death and rebirth. Page of Swords. So Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, she's very creative. She's very nurturing. She's very kind. She's very caring. She's quite fabulous, actually, I think. So, this could be speaking about you. This could be your energy this week. One of feeling in a settled emotional state. Maybe in the past that's not been the case, and you've really struggled balancing your emotions. But I think in recent times, in recent weeks, certainly, if not months, I think you have been feeling more serene, more stable, and your emotions have felt, a little bit better. I think that it's been difficult. I think, it's been a real struggle to get to the place that you are at the moment. But I think at the moment you're feeling quite contented. I think you're feeling quite serene, and I think things are okay. I think, there's stuff, don't get me wrong, life's not perfect. There's stuff going on in the periphery, in your eye line around you, but you're just not letting it knock you off your throne. I think you're feeling more secure in yourself and more grounded, more connected to the earth. So, yeah, I'm not saying that you're having everything's rosy in the garden, but I don't think it's having, it's destabilising you as it may have done in the past. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. And we'll have the Emperor. So the 7 of Pentacles is all about weeding and pruning. It's about clearing the things out of your life, material, in a material kind of way, being a pentacle. Clearing things out of your life that don't serve you any purpose anymore, or the things that don't bring you the rewards compared to the energy that you've been putting into it. So again, this could have been people, this could be situations. This situation of this person, I think, maybe has caused you to be very emotional, and maybe to go through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, relating to this thing, this person, this relationship, this job, whatever it is. I think, it's been quite a strain, I think, on you on an emotional level, on a physical and mental level as well. So I think, you've weeded, you've pruned, you've figured it out, you've cleared the things out of the way. But I think that's what's making an appearance for you now. We've got the Emperor card. The Emperor is about taking control, you being in control of your destiny, being confident, not being afraid to say no, maybe, but also in a stronger place now, in a more emotionally stable place, and in a stronger and more confident place, so that you can, face these things if they're making a reappearance, look at them and decide what you want to do with it, because you're in control now. You're completely in control of your own future, of your own destiny. You can say no if you want to, you can say hell no if you don't want to, if you want to. It's entirely up to you. You're in charge. We've got the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups, I think this resurgence has come about, this reappearance of this thing, this person, whatever, has come about because you're not feeling quite happy with what you've got right now. I think what's in front of you, when it, whatever area of life this is, whether it's a relationship, whether it is a friendship, whether it is a work situation, whether it is a home situation, you're not happy with it at the moment. You're not feeling happy with it, and I think you're just lacking in your mojo surrounding it. And I just think things aren't feeling quite right, and I think you're looking to shake things up a little bit, or you're needing to shake things up a little bit to move forwards. And sometimes we think that going back to the past is the answer, but generally it's not. But it depends. It all depends on the reasons why this person is no longer in your life. So let's have 2 more cards. 4 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. Yeah, I think there's big conflicting energy around you and this situation. I think you may be holding on to something too tightly. Maybe, you're looking at life through rose-coloured spectacles and you're remembering things in a different way. Maybe you're thinking that, the way that things ended, things finished, was better than it actually was, but you're holding on to something. And maybe because, when you look back, things, you thought things were a lot better. You had a lot more going for you. And, I've done this with jobs, and you think, no, there's a reason why I'm not doing that anymore. And it's a valid reason, and it's enough to make me then reevaluate things and think, well, I'm not going back there because, I would be going backwards and I need to be looking forwards. But like I said, it's not always the way that, you can't go back to things. But I think very much you are holding on to something and relating to this situation. And I think it's very, very, cause you see the way she's holding her purse there, close to her heart. I think it's very close to your heart. I think back in the day, back when, this thing or this person was part of your life, I think things felt happier, you felt more contented. Maybe things were simpler, but, life was simpler even before, the last 5 years. Things have shifted and things have changed dramatically, haven't they? And as we get older, life changes. And just because things were good back then doesn't mean that things are going to necessarily be the same now. Everybody's changed, the situations have changed, and you've changed more than anything. And do you want to go back? There's the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is conflict. It's conflict, it's competition, it's an unsettled feeling. And I think you are feeling very conflicted at the moment, and I think this situation is making you feel unsettled as well. Because I think you do know deep down what the answer is. Are you thinking the easy solution would be to go back? Because if it's just because it's easy, then that's completely the wrong choice to be making. If it's because it's the easiest thing, you have to really sit down with yourself and think, is this the right thing? And, I'm just drawn over to the what needs mending. If you did move forwards with this situation, what needs mending? What can you change? What can you shake up to make this situation better for you for the future? Moving forwards, how can it be better? What needs to happen for this situation to be better? We've got the Nine of Wands next. Nine of Wands is the wounded soldier, basically, or she's a wounded soldier. And the traditional Rider-Waite, he's got bandages all wrapped around his head. He's been through the war. He's been through a difficult time, and I think you have been through a difficult time. I think things haven't been easy, and I think, you're just keeping going. You're very resilient. You're not giving up, but you just keep going. The key is with the wounded soldier is just to keep looking forward, maybe not to keep looking back, because she is actually looking back. She's looking at the past, and like I say, it depends on the situation. Depends on why this situation ended, but I think you've really got to evaluate that moving forwards. I think there is some stuff that's been difficult for you in the past, and I think it's probably been the making of you in some ways. It's you certainly will have learnt some lessons from it. Not necessarily have to be the making of you. It could just be that you've learnt some really, really important lessons from that. And again, that needs to not be forgotten. I think you need to have a glimpse back to the past, maybe have a sort of settle into the energy of what it felt like, and try and see if that's where you want to be again. Is that the situation you want to be in again? Is there something that can be gained from being in that situation again? If not, you look at areas that you can grow, areas that things can be shifted, that things can be mended, things can be made better. And again, if that's not the case, then is it a wise thing to go back? So let's have another two cards. We've got the Knight of Cups and we've got the Two of Wands. So the Knight of Cups, it's all about taking action about to move towards happiness. So it could be love related, but I certainly think that that is literally what you're wanting. I think you're just wanting to find that happy place again, or to renew, you know, the happiness within your life. Because as we've spoke about, I think you're just not quite happy with what's going on at the moment. But the question is going back, is this situation going to bring you happiness? Is this what's needed to bring you happiness? And it's really just something, I can't say it enough, you just have to really evaluate. You have to evaluate, you have to weigh up the situation. It's something that you really have to think carefully about. And I think it's something that you know deep down inside of you. It's there. And go with your instincts. Trust yourself. Go with your gut instincts. It always knows best. We've got the Two of Wands there. The Two of Wands is about you making a choice moving towards your joys and passions. So for some of you, this certainly could be work related. Two of Wands, you know, wands are about work, wands are about our joys, our passions, the things that light you up. So it could be a relationship, it could be work, but it's certainly something, it's you evaluating the situation, you holding all the cards really, because I think you are in the position where the choice is yours. It's up to you what you do, where you take yourself now. Decision is yours. And I think it's about weighing things up, about evaluating things, about sitting with the situation, feeling your way through the situation, and seeing whether it's going to be suitable for you down the line. So our next card is Death and Rebirth. So it's the ending of something and the beginning of something new. So this could be interpreted in, you know, two different ways in this situation, couldn't it? Maybe you are ending, you know, this situation finally and giving yourself a brand new start. Or you are ending the current situation and moving forwards with this thing. We've got the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, it's about having a breakthrough, finding clarity, learning information. And so I think moving forwards, you are going to have that light bulb moment, that moment of clarity, maybe some information coming your way, some exterior knowledge being, you know, shoved in front of you that's going to give you that aha moment, that light bulb moment, the one that's going to help you decide which way you're going to go with this. We've got the Five of Swords, and I just want one more, the Hierophant. So I think you're going to go through a little bit of a mental conflict really with this, because I really do feel that you're considering this getting back into this situation because it's comfortable, it's easy. I really do feel that. And I think you have to release. And I think mentally it's going to be a little bit of a struggle this week. I think you're going to be having an awful lot on your mind. I think you've got this inner conflict back in and two in. But I think you know that this is something that's got to be released. It's got to be released. But it's up to you. Tarot, it's not the law, is it? You can do what you want. Just telling you what the cards are saying. The Hierophant. It's about how things have always been done. It's about tradition. Do you want to break with tradition? Do you want to stay in that routine of doing things the way that things have always been done, with the expectations that are put upon, that are upon you, that are expected of you because you've always done things a certain way? Sometimes we need to shake things up. Sometimes we need to step out of the status quo. Sometimes we break away from people, situations, jobs, whatever, for reasons because we need to just go our own way and do our own thing and find that place of alignment for ourselves. So, it's something to consider. Do you want to keep doing things the way that you've always done them? Or do you want a brand new start? A brand new start with brand new stuff, brand new way of doing things, brand new way of moving forwards? Or do you want to just, stay with what you know? Choice is yours, up to you, entirely up to you. But I think you're in for an interesting week. Certainly, Leo. We've got that Seven of Pentacles there. Don't forget, The things that are bringing you value, the things that are bringing you new growth, things that are just bringing you something for the energy and for the love and for the care and for the time, for the devotion that you put into a situation. Are you getting back what you put into it? I think that's the big question for you this week. I'd love to know if this resonates with you. Please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know if this fits with you, with what's going on with you at the moment. If you feel like you want to be part of this lovely little community that I'm trying to build, please press that subscribe button. It's completely free. Don't forget to press the notification button, because it means that you'll get to keep up with your readings. But in the meantime, have a fabulous week. Stay rooted, stay open, stay magical, and I will catch up again with you very, very soon.